Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Calmsden Farm, episode number 16. And we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on our JCB tractor this morning, or this afternoon, actually. I think it is. $5,623 to do the repairs on this beast of a tractor that we have, and now we're going to just move it out, and we're going to give it a wash, and we're going to go sell and try to recoup a little bit of that money back from selling our barley that we harvested a few game months ago. We'll go ahead and open up this bay here because we'll be picking up our trailer. And let's just go ahead and give this guy here a wash. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I am having a wonderful evening. It's kind of rare for me. I'm actually recording this episode late in the evening um, on Wednesday. What is this? Is this like the 16th of the 16th of February, as I hit the wrong button, but that's okay. And recording this late in the evening, as I said. And my wife tomorrow has an MRI on her lower back, and nothing too concerning. She had a back injury a couple of maybe 10 years ago, kind of a minor thing, and as a result, she had some injections in her back just to kind of help ease the pain and everything, and so that has, I guess, worn off, if you want to call it that. And she's had a bit of pain, and so she's going to go have an MRI in the morning just to double check and see that if she needs another injection. And hopefully that will be the case. That's been kind of our plan, that we would just kind of do the injections uh, for a period of time until it got to a point to where that really didn't work anymore for her, and then she might consider something more permanent, surgery or something. But anyway, that is what's going on, and so I wanted to record this episode because I was a bit concerned that I might not have the time tomorrow um, because of the doctor's appointment, and it's decided to snow here again today. We've got about 6 inches of snow in the ground, and I'm sure that I don't want to run over that. I don't want to run over that tree there, but I'm sure as a result of the snow, traffic is going to be a little bit difficult tomorrow, to say the least. And so we are going to have to get up early and head out and get down there and all that good stuff. So anyway, we've got a couple of things that we're going to do in this game day. And the last time that we were together, it was, I believe it was the second stage of December. So we have had a little bit of time that I have played off camera. Try not to run over the young lady there. And I've spent a little bit of time playing off camera doing a few things. But, as I said in a video not too long ago, I really didn't want to get to the point of where that you all kind of have to wonder how I made all this progress and what all I did and everything. So just enjoying some time to myself, if you will, and keeping things moving along as best as possible. And we are getting to the point. Obviously, we're in a new year, so this will be our second year of playing the map as we come along. And of course, I did load the UK weather geo, so we will have some crops to plant. And of course, this field to our left, that's oilseed radishes down on that. So we will obviously be cultivating that under and getting that ready to put seeds down for whatever we choose to plant there. And then of course, just back this direction, this is our grass meadow. And then coming up on this other field right down here, this was our sunflower field that we harvested just a couple of episodes ago. And when we come back from selling this load of barley at at the Cotswold store, we are going to come back and finish up putting slurry down here on this field here, or at least do a little bit of it. As I said, I think this video will be kind of short today, just to kind of give you an update on what is going on and what I've been doing on the farm, kind of playing off camera just a little bit, and some of the things that I've got going on in my life. JCB will get it done. It'll get the job done, I'm sure, but it is just a little bit struggling. This is a pretty big load of barley, and hopefully this will earn us a pretty penny, I would hope, at market. That is at least the plan. And of course, we will be selling more barley in possibly this game day, not in this video, but in this game day, because the prices were the best in January. And so we will go ahead and most likely sell all of our barley down, and we will keep wheat and barley are the highest prices in January, but we'll probably keep some wheat for our chickens, just to make sure that we don't run out of food for them. But we may sell everything down, but keep a trailer load for them, and we'll just kind of have to see how things are going. Lots of new mods released today in the Giants mod hub. That was kind of interesting to see all the different things. I've found a interesting mod that I've installed on this map, and I'll show it to you here in just a few moments when we get back around to our other field and start spreading slurry down. There was a couple of culvert type devices that you can place. They're placeables. I think they run about $50,000 or $60,000, and they're placeables. And the purpose of them is like a field side permanent structure to put your slurry in. So you can move your slurry from your cow field, cow pasture, dairy pasture, whatever, over to those field side containers. And am I going in the right way? I think I am. Yeah, right here. You can put those in there, and let's see where we need to go here. You can put the slurry in there, and then retrieve it from that container or from that culvert, underground storage bunker, if you will, and load your slurry spreader up. So that will obviously be a good thing when we start really spreading slurry or digestate, as we continue to accrue the digestate here from the BGA, which is just right over there. So this is my first time to come here to the Cotswold store, but obviously we've come up in this area of the map before with the can I get out this direction? I don't think I can. OxygenDavid certainly made things a little bit on the tight side with stuff. I guess I have played in the past. I have played maps like by Stevie, where kind of everything is the fields are square and somewhat large, and cell points are typically big, and you can come in one direction and leave out the other direction. And I have it's been a while since I have played a really nice UK style map, but as I've said before, and I'll say it again because it is so true with Calmsden Farm, this is unlike any other UK farming map that you would imagine playing. The size of the fields just really do, to me, sort of resemble some of the stuff that we would see on an American style map. Maybe not. We don't tend to see odd-sized fields, especially if you stick with like maps from Stevie. Most of his are going to be square, rectangular shaped fields, but these field sizes here on Calmsden are very, very reminiscent of an American style map as far as the sizes go, and really the kind of equipment that you really need to be able to put onto those fields to get work done, especially if you're going to manage multiple fields, more than 2 or 3 if you're gonna. I think we're up to about 5 fields here that we'll be planting crops on. We've got a couple of grass fields for hay meadows, but I think we've got about 4 or 5 fields that we'll be planting crops on, and we need some fairly good size equipment to basically manage that and get all of that done. And so that's what we've kind of been in the process of doing, and kind of turning this map into what I think initially, kind of in my mind's eye, which was going to be UK style farming, and was going to be on this slightly smaller side. But kind of once we started playing the map and really diving into how all this was going to work, I'm like, no, I'm going to have to put a little bit bigger equipment with this, and in order to get the job done. All right, so we will pull up to this. This is the culvert container that I was talking about, and we will just fill this up with slurry. We've got 36,000 liters in there right now, and we will finish up this field. As I take a sip of much-needed iced tea, I guess my obviously if I'm recording in the mornings like I normally do, and I think since I have been back doing YouTube again since my latest hiatus from much of 2020, I have been doing the majority of my recordings in the morning time. Certainly since being retired, I've just found that that's been the best thing for me to do, is to do those recordings then. And bear with me for just one moment. All right, and we are off again. Just took a few minutes just to get GPS set up. Gonna sort of answer a call from my good buddy Atomic 67 Gaming EP. He was telling me that his OCD was kicking off a little bit when I wasn't squaring up my field when we were harvesting this field with sunflowers on it. And so I figured I would lock in the GPS and we'll get these fields nice and square as we're spreading our black gold down on the field. And it's funny because he mentioned that, and of course I did a lot of the harvesting on this field off camera after I ended the video session. And that's generally the first thing that I always do, is square the fields up, because at that point I will go ahead and fire up GPS, kind of as I'm doing now, and I will lock everything in. And oftentimes I even set my cruise control. And if it's on a field like this where the length is, takes, more than, well, almost 60 seconds probably to make the trip from one end to the other, it gives me a chance to have a drink of coffee, maybe even turn around, because my desk, I kind of sit in a U-shaped desk, and in front of me, obviously right now, because I'm staring at my 3 monitors that make up my gaming system. Center monitor has Farming Simulator on it, the game running, and my right monitor has OBS on it, so I can keep track of that. And if I'm, like if I were to stream, and it's been so long since I have streamed, but if I were to stream, I would have chat up on that screen, and I would be monitoring the live stream to make sure that I was still transmitting. And on my leftmost screen, I've got my notes pulled up here so that I kind of know what I'm doing, what I should be talking about, and maybe what I have talked about, what I've done in previous episodes, or if I'm playing more than one map, I've got that. So I usually do square these corners up, and we'll set GPS off, and that gives me the ability to kind of go hands-free just a little bit. And especially if I'm doing off-camera work, it allows me to just kind of focus on a few other things. Like I said, maybe turn around and check my email or check Discord. I don't typically run Discord on my gaming machine, just primarily because I try to keep it just focused on gaming, and I don't do a whole lot of internet activity on that machine, just to as best as I can eliminate any risk for malware or anything getting on the machine. So typically, if I download a mod or something, I will do that on one of my other computers, a laptop maybe, and check it, make sure that it's virus free, and then I will transfer that mod across to my other machine, either using the cloud like Google, or we'll use, I've got a network area storage device that I have set up that I can transfer files and stuff from one machine to the other. Now you might be wondering about the spray rate that we've got going on here. I've modified the spray rate on Farming Simulator 22. You might remember, for those of you that obviously played Farm Sim 19, you might remember that we had that variable spray usage mod that was very popular. I absolutely love that mod because I've always felt that the spray usage or spray utilization for spraying fertilizer, um, either liquid fertilizer or even solid fertilizer, lime, and obviously manure and digestate has been incorrect. It just seems like, to me, before I made the modifications to the spray rate on liquid slurry, I tested it. I filled this guy up. I think it holds 21,000 liters of slurry with the front mounted tank as well, and could barely get up and down the field with one pass. And I just felt like, okay, that's just too much. So I have essentially halved the rate, and that's kind of what I would have done with the variable spray rate usage mod. And it may not be 100% authentic, but it kind of helps with not having to go back and forth to fill up. Even using the field side thing there that I placed for this field, this just will help make things go a little bit quicker. And I still think that the spray rate usage is a bit too high, especially with lime and also with slurry and liquid digestate. It's not too bad with fertilizer. Even like when I was playing Elm Creek, I could fill up the fertilize sprayer, and I could spray, 2 or 3 fields and not have to go back and refill. And I hadn't changed anything on Elm Creek. But as I started playing this map and looking at doing more things such as spreading slurry, I realized with the settings that it was set at, which I think was 4, and I don't really know what that 4 necessarily means in relation to how it all works, but I found a conversation over on one of the discords talking about that, and that was sort of the recommended setting, was to basically half that number so that your spray rate would be a little bit less than what it was. So I set that to 2. I certainly don't mind having to fill it up more than once or twice to do a field of this size. I just don't want to have to do it like 10 or 12 times. And I was kind of getting the impression that if I didn't change it for this map, because again, it's such large fields, that I would basically be having to fill this thing up about 10 times just in order to get the field done. So we're only going to have the slurry that we can produce, and I don't think that again, even cutting the spray rate usage down by half, I don't think that we will have enough liquid manure to essentially be able to put down liquid manure on all the fields. But kind of because this field is fairly easy to get to from the dairy, and I figured, well, we'll go ahead and do this field with slurry, and then whatever else that we can't get to because we don't have enough either of slurry or digestate, then we'll just have to put down natural chemical, or not natural, but chemical fertilizer. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on about 22 minutes, and I've really run out of things to talk about, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if it's because it's later in the evening and I've been up since about 5:30 this morning, and I'm just a little bit tired. I did have that dentist appointment yesterday, and everything went fine. The little piece of old tooth was what it was. It was a. Don't know if I told you this or not, but I will just quickly tell you this, and then my apologies if I did mention this in the previous video. But when I was about 25 years old, so this was about 30 years ago, I had bit down on a burrito, and it had either a bone or a piece of rock or something in the burrito. It was a frozen burrito from the grocery store. And it had this little piece of bone in it, and it cracked one of my teeth on my jaw, lower jaw. So I went to the dentist thinking, oh my God, I've just cracked a tooth, and what is this going to mean? And the dentist informed me, he's like, well, it is a baby tooth that you've cracked. And again, I was 25 years old. He says, it's a baby tooth that you cracked. And the reason why it was a baby tooth was because I didn't have an adult tooth that came up to push the baby tooth out. And he says, that's also why you're not in a lot of severe pain, is because it was just a baby tooth. It's not, not deeply rooted in everything into your jaw. And so he sent me on my way, and then of course over the years I've had dentists and such try to sell me bridges and all sorts of infrastructure to put in my mouth to basically close that gap, and you can't see it. You can't see it if I'm smiling or whatever. You can't see the hole that the missing tooth left, but obviously I can. I know it's there. And so anyway, about 3 months ago was my last dentist appointment before yesterday. And at that particular point in time, the dentist had told me, he's like, I see on the x-ray that you've got something that's working its way out of that socket. And of course it was covered because 20, 30 years later, obviously that gum, that hole had sealed up and everything. But he says it's working its way out, and it will probably, come out eventually. Well, after probably was around Christmas, Christmas, New Year's was when I first felt it, and it was just a little shard of tooth that was coming up in that gap, and the dentist just wiggled it back and forth a little bit, and then just grabbed a pair of pliers and slid it right out, and I felt it. I felt it when it came out, but other than that, everything was fine. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it, and sorry if I grossed you out with my tooth story or my broken tooth story, but it is life, and that is what happens as we get older, these kind of things. So thank you all for watching. Very much appreciated, and we're going to have to go back and fill up again here. And we'll do that, of course, off camera, and finish this off camera, and be back for episode number 17 with some other things to do, most likely in the month of February. And we'll be looking to start putting our seeds in the ground for this second year in March, and obviously hopefully be getting some harvesting going early in the June time frame. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. So thank you again for watching. Very much appreciated. Take very good care of yourself and also all of those around you. And I will see you right back here on Calmsden Farm, Farm Sim 22, here on the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. Bye for now.